Hello, my name is Annie Poole and I want to welcome you to this third segment of Resilience in Teaching. By now I hope you have some sort of grasp of the three principles. I know that Judy Sedgman in the earlier segments has a vast collection of knowledge about the three principles. And my part in this training is my education background. I've been in teaching for 40 years and I've been a principal for a quarter of a century, a good part of that 40 years. And latterly I've been supporting educational leaders in their well-being. And that role came about from all the education reform that's happening recently. I know it's the same in the US because I've spoken to US teachers and educators and administrators. We've gathered a lot of information from teachers for this course, and we know that it will come of no surprise to you to share the concerns around testing and assessment, around relationships, with parents or other colleagues, and around time, the preciousness of time in teaching, all that preparation and marking that we have to do in order to really prepare our students. So what has changed in education? What has brought our profession to this place of anxiety and worry day to day? Well, I think George W. Bush in 2008 and Maggie Thatcher in the 1980s both had major influences on education. Maggie Thatcher in the UK, who was Prime Minister at the time, wanted to take over tremendous control of schools, control of the local authorities, which is the same as your education board, control of the curriculum, control of teacher training, down to the nth degree. And a result of that was a national curriculum and testing. And I know you have a similar thing in the US. And so we share commonalities of stress in our profession. But the three principles founded by Sydney Banks, the three principles, and I'm reading from the missing link now. Mind, consciousness and thought are spiritual gifts that enable us to see creation and guide us through life. Because you see, tests the intellect. Education is focusing on the intellect. It hasn't always. It used to focus on the spiritual side of life as well as the physical intellect. So the missing link, thought, because we live in the feeling of our thinking. And it's our personal thinking. It's the compounded levels and layers of that overthinking that becomes anxiety and stress. And may even impact our health in education. But the good news is, with an understanding of the three principles and knowing how this state of mind, how we create our own state of mind, that information using the three principles informs everything. So state of mind in the classroom and performance variables in education are down to us. See, the gift of thought, when you start to see the power of thought, and I'm reading from the missing link again, from Sid's own words, because when you start to see the power of thought and its relationship to your way of observing life, you will better understand yourself and the world in which you live. And that is so true. It doesn't matter what's going on in education. When I work with educational leaders and we look at their values and who they are as people, and they bring that into their leadership, and they bring this understanding of the way the mind works, the fact that there is a life force we are connected to, that we can tap into, we can find that resilience and wisdom from at any point in the day. When they understand that, and they know about the power of thought, and they also understand that as human beings we have different levels of awareness. Some days we're really tuned in and we're really level and neutral, and other days we just pile the personal thinking in on top and we get overly anxious about something. When the educational leaders and the schools and the children and the administrators understand this, it makes a massive difference to their lives. There are some case studies illustrating this. Some case studies about assessment and inspection, about coping with the pressures of teaching when you're a new teacher, and about time. Those are all in this section. They're just illustrations of the three principles at work. I guarantee your life will never be the same again. You will bring such peace and clarity into the classroom, and you will want to share this with your colleagues and the children in your class when the time's right.